What's up guys, welcome back to Money Crow, the channel all about making your money grow. In this video, I'll be revealing my absolute favorite calculator that shows you exactly when you can retire. I left a link to it in the description in case you guys want to open it now, because I'm going to be walking you guys through all the different data points that you can input and how they will affect the results. Or you can just watch the video first and play around with it yourself after. So when you first click that link, this is the landing page where you'll see a bunch of data already filled in by default. For my example, I'll be using my stock portfolio that I showcase on this channel every single Friday. The net liquid value of that portfolio was at $106,000 last Friday's episode, so I'll be using that number for these calculations. If you're following along, edit all this based on your actual data so you can get accurate results. Since I'm using myself as an example, for age, I'm changing that to 27. For investments, we're changing that to 106,000, which is that same number I just explained. Since that portfolio is running the wheel option selling strategy, which I talk a lot about on this channel, we'll say my investments are 100% allocated towards stocks. Rather than worrying about your actual income and spending, for this part, I would just write down how much you've been investing every year or how much you plan to start investing every year. For my example, I'll say I plan to invest $1,000 per month, so I'm going to write in $12,000 in income and 0 in spending, just to get the calculator to think I'm saving and investing $12,000 per year. Inflation has been about 2 to 3% per year on average, so we'll say I want to keep my annual contributions to keep up with inflation and say there will be income growth of 2% per year. This extra income part can be used for a number of different things like Social Security, pensions, etc. But for me, I'm not relying on any of that, so I'll just leave it blank at $0. The extra expense part could be buying a big ticket item, or maybe your annual expenses will increase after a certain age because you want to add something to your budget. For me, I'm keeping it at 0 for now because I don't foresee additional expenses at this time, and I can always adjust it later and plan accordingly. But for example, let's say you want to start taking a $2,000 vacation each and every year from age 60 all the way to age 70, so for 10 straight years. Just add that expense to that line that I left at $0 and adjust the start age and the end age depending on the time frames that you choose. If you watched my video about how to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you may remember that the median personal income in the United States is just under $36,000. If we multiply that by 2, accounting for a hypothetical married couple, that brings our total to $72,000. I'm personally very frugal, so I don't spend anywhere near that amount, but I always like to plan for a retirement where I can spend freely without pinching pennies. So we'll say my retirement expenses will be $72,000 at a safe withdrawal rate of 4%. If you guys aren't familiar with the safe withdrawal rates, please watch my video explaining FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence Retire Early, as well as the subsequent episode on that topic titled How to Retire Early and Never Run Out of Money. Both of those videos explain the FIRE movement and withdrawal rates in pretty simple terms. This calculator originally assumed an average tax rate of 7%, which I changed to 0% for the following reasons. In 2020, the long-term capital gains tax rate is 0% for income up to $40,000 for single filers and income up to $80,000 for married filing joint. Keep in mind this doesn't even include your principal amount. So let's say for that 0% rate for $80,000 in income for someone married filing joint, you sell $160,000 worth of stocks. Half of that, which is $80,000, is capital gains, and the other half, the other $80,000, is just your original contributions that you already paid taxes on. So in more simple terms, say you bought 1,000 shares of a stock at $80 per share, which equals $80,000, and now that stock is worth $160 per share, which equals $160,000. When you go to sell your 1,000 shares for $160,000, only $80,000 of that is profit. The rest is money that you already paid taxes on that you deposited into your taxable brokerage account and bought stock with. So technically you can have $160,000 in income or withdrawals one year, and only $80,000 of that would be taxable capital gains. But since that's right where the cap is for married filing joint in tax year 2020, you withdrew $160,000 and paid nothing in taxes. In case you're worried about dividends, they get the exact same treatment. So just incorporate those dividends that you receive into your calculations. So we can see how we can hypothetically receive dividends and sell off very large amounts of stock and withdraw cash from our brokerage accounts and never have to pay taxes. Some may argue that these tax rates may go up in the future, and others may argue that the 0% bracket may be more lenient in the future and allow even more tax-free income. But that's all speculation, and I just like calculating things with what we know for sure today. So this brings us to my FIRE target, which basically means the amount of money I need invested in this portfolio to be able to withdraw my goal amount of $72,000 per year, every year, adjusted for inflation, in retirement. For me, this final number would be $1.8 million. And based on the historical inflation-adjusted returns of the stock market, which have been 8.1%, this calculator projects that I'll reach my goal and be able to retire at age 51. That's not bad at all. But now I want to show you something that will hopefully motivate a lot of you. But first, I just want to give a quick shout out to my amazing Patreon supporters. We have our standalone Crow CEO, Jorge Ledesma, and our 4 Crow investors, Prismatic, Erica, Andrew Paz, and John Harden. Thank you all so much for your continued support. If you guys are new to the channel, this is my Patreon page where I post every single time I make a trade in my $100,000 portfolio. If you support the channel on there as a level 8 or higher supporter, you'll always be notified whenever I make a trade, and you'll be the first to see those updates. So you're able to follow my trades and even copy them if you wanted to. But of course, always do your own research and never just blindly follow what someone else is doing. So if that's something that interests you, I'll have a link to my Patreon in the description. Another easy way to help out the channel is by clicking my 3 different referral links so we can both get free stocks and free cash. For a limited time, Webull is giving away 3 free stocks, and One Finance is giving away $10 in cash, and Robinhood is giving away a free stock like Apple or Facebook or many others when you sign up. Links are all in the description. Thank you guys. Now let's play with the settings and pretend I'm going to contribute twice as much to my investments. And say I'm going to live a relatively lean lifestyle and only spend half of my original $72,000 in retirement. So for income, I'm going to change it from $12,000 to $24,000. And for retirement spending, I'm going to change it from $72,000 to $36,000. By making some sacrifices now and saving more instead of spending more, and also by making some sacrifices in retirement and spending less, I can cut my retirement time frame almost in half. Only 13 years for a retirement at age 40 based on this data. That's pretty crazy to me. And of course, this doesn't mean you need to retire and never work another day in your life. The fantastic part about this is that you can continue living and working like normal, but you also get to have the biggest feeling of security at all times because you know that even if you lose your job tomorrow, your investment portfolio can cover all your expenses for the rest of your entire life. You'll no longer need to rely on outside income to live your life. That's called financial independence, and that freedom is what motivates me to reach it as soon as possible. Depending on your actual savings and retirement spendings, you may be able to reach your financial independence number very quickly, and once you have that, you will eliminate so much stress from your life and be able to focus on things that make you truly happy. I hope each and every one of you tries out this calculator and puts a plan in motion with whatever goals you may have. I really hope that my entire audience reaches financial independence sooner rather than later. Let me know in the comments what your FIRE target is. I'll be reading every single one of your comments. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. I hope you'll be back for future videos. And as always, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, and comment. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.